Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Friends of the Forest. My name is Dale Mangold, I'm your host, and this week's episode we have the pleasure of going across the pond to the UK and interviewing Map of Autumn. Oh yes, I'm very excited. So before we sit down and chat with Map of Autumn, get a few things out of the way. Friends of the Forest airs each and every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, new episodes every week. And to find out when episodes are, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification, give us a thumbs up and all that kind of cool stuff so you will always know when the next episode of Friends of the Forest airs. And from time to time, we do put out other cool things on the channel from my band Forrest Of FangHorn as well. So without further ado, let's dive right into this episode. All right, welcome back. Before we start our episode, if you want to be a guest on a future upcoming episode of Friends of the Forest, if you're an artist, band, or entertainer anywhere in the world, please email us at forrestoffangHorn, pgh@gmail.com. We'll put a link in the description below. You can hit our link tree and find the email that way as well. But we will email you all the information, everything there is to know. It's very easy. We do everything electronically and pretty simple. But if you happen to be an artist, band, or entertainer that is in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, we can record your episode live right here in the studio as well. Let us know about that. Just like we did with Craig Veltri, which was our guest a few weeks ago, and upcoming in a few weeks, we have Jeremy Kaywood. He actually not only was in studio, but we had the honor of him performing one of his songs live acoustically as well. So let us know, okay? Let's get into our guest. Here is Map of Autumn. Welcome to the show. We have Tim, actually, from Map of Autumn. Welcome, and it's an honor to have you on our show.
Hey Dale, thanks for inviting me here. It's really cool to be on your YouTube show. I was really pleased to be asked to be part of this, so thank you for the invite.
All right, tell us a little bit about yourself. We met through New Artist Spotlight, which is a worldwide independent artist, independent music group based out of Toronto, Canada. I will put a link to their website in the description below as well. It's an awesome support group. All artists, all types of genres from around the world. And that's how we met. But I digress. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your musical background.
So I'm Tim. I am also known as Map of Autumn. I'm from the south coast of the UK. And I'm in the band. I am the band Map of Autumn. Yeah. So I've been doing music for a while. I started playing guitar when I was 13, 14. Then I was in some rubbish bands when I was younger. We thought we were great, but we definitely were not. I was in an originals band called The Setup in my kind of early 20s, and then I did weddings and stuff, wedding bands, which was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. But where I am today is I self-produce at home, so I'm writing my own stuff, recording here, and there's not a huge amount of time in life to be in a band, with work and parenting and all of that. So at the moment, I make my music at home. I will occasionally go and do like an open mic or something. But other than that, I'm writing, recording here. And for a while I was only doing instrumental music, so I was very much into like post-rock stuff with like interesting time signatures and all that kind of stuff. So I have a couple of EPs from a few years ago which are purely instrumental, not very popular sounding. Most people are not really interested in instrumental music, are they? But yeah, and then in the last kind of couple of years, well, not even that long, I suppose, 18 months, I've gotten back into lyric writing, and I've been working on some new stuff. So that's where I am now.
I see you have a lot of gear in the back. I'm kind of a gearhead. I mean, I'm more of a saxophone player than a guitar player, but can you tell us a little bit about what you have going on back there and some of the gear that you use?
So in terms of how I record stuff, what kit I use, yeah. So this is my studio, which is also my bedroom, and I've got some guitars over there. So certainly on this song, I use a mixture of guitars. So I've got a Gretsch and a Telecaster, which are kind of my go-to electric guitars, and I like them because they're very, very different. And there is also a Warwick 5-string bass, which I always love, that kind of low B on a 5-string when it's kind of used well and used sparsely, because it adds this kind of big, real sense of depth to a song. I think it's really badass, Love that. I've got a Fender Blues Junior as my main guitar amp, and an array of pedals. I'm just looking at them now. Things like a full-tone plimsoll I use an organizer from Earthquaker Devices for octaves and stuff. I've got strive and delay and a stereo reverb, things like that. I tend to record my guitar parts in stereo, so I'll always make sure that the last pedal in my chain is stereo, and I'll have a stereo delay so that when I'm kind of producing, I can have two guitar parts and I can kind of set them to phase, and I can put them left or right or whatever I want, put different kinds of effects on them to give it that extra depth. So I use a Mac, I use Logic. It's what I've used forever. I know there's door wars where people will say, oh, this one's better, and I've got no idea. I use Logic, always have done. I'm quite proficient at it, can fly through it really quick. I've got a little M Audio keyboard that I use, and I just record and produce it all here. Oh, I've got my drum kit, let's not forget that. A Yamaha kit which I feed into my Mac, and I run Addictive Drums 2 as my drum software, which is great. And again, I've only ever used Addictive Drums. No issues with it. I think it sounds brilliant.
Very cool. Very cool. So Tim, your song that we're going to talk about on this episode, One Blue, One Green. Tell us a little background about that. How did you think of the idea of coming up with this particular tune?
So I'm kind of always working on something new. I find inspiration is flowing quite nicely at the moment. I've got a couple of songs that I'm working on that I nearly finished. I have about maybe, 10 songs that are finished, but I'm in a terrible habit of kind of finishing a song and then writing a new one and thinking that's my new favourite, so I'll release that one next. And then I get stuck in this kind of in this rut of just having loads of songs all ready to go. None of them get released particularly that often because I can't really decide what to do with them all. And my new one's always my favourite. My latest release though is called One Blue, One Green, and that is the song that I'm currently kind of pushing and promoting on the socials and things like that. Specifically, that song is a very cool song to me. It's actually the first song that I wrote since having a hiatus from songwriting. So my partner, she's great. She's always been a really big fan of me as a musician, me as a person, of course, but me as a musician, and has always really liked my music, which is always, massively encouraging. She kind of encouraged me to get back into kind of singer-songwriting and going back and just go do a gig or something. So that's when I started doing the open mics again, and I hadn't done an open mic for maybe 10 years. Hadn't done a gig certainly, but it was really cool. I learned some covers and I went out there and I played a few songs, and just got the bug for it again, and it inspired me to write One Blue, One Green, which is about her really, but it's about love. Most of my songs are usually quite sad or reflective or about death or the afterlife, or something bleak, This one isn't. This is about good stuff. So she has 2 different coloured eyes. So that's where the title comes from, the one blue, one green. That's the inspiration for the title and the opening lyric. But yeah, the song is about kind of finding love that is real, transparent, that you know that they can see you for who you are, and you can see them for who they are, and it's very mutual. And yeah, it's a love song.
You run so free, that inner child, the spark inside.
Very nice. If you haven't heard this song, definitely go check it out. I will put a link to that song in the description down below, along with all of the other Map of Autumn social media sites as well.
Yeah, you can find my music everywhere that you should be able to find music. So Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, all the stuff, Tidal, all of those things. I am half-heartedly into YouTube. I have one video on there, which is a lyric video. That's not true. I have 2 videos, one from a long time ago, and then more recently a lyric video from my first kind of single, Hope and Pretend, that I released about a year ago now. I'm on TikTok, although I don't really understand it. I feel a bit old for TikTok. I'm on it. Yeah, so feel free to follow me. I'm on Instagram mainly, is my main kind of social thing, and then Twitter, or X as it's called now, is the other thing. Yeah, so I'm at Map of Autumn on pretty much any platform.
Anything else you want to chat about?
So I really like melody and kind of good, well thought through instrumentation. So you know, you might have like a bass line that later becomes a guitar part or a piano part, or a vocal line that copies a guitar part, or bits like a jigsaw puzzle, so bits fit together. So that's what I tried to do with this one, and there's kind of recurring themes in the melody which will pop out every now and then, not necessarily obviously, but if you can pick it out, then you'll find its kind of features throughout, and I feel like it kind of holds the song together. So I love that stuff. I also, as I mentioned before, I really enjoy kind of alternative, like less commonly used time signatures and things like that. So when I was kind of going back into kind of songwriting, I wanted a good mix of stuff that people will like because it's got a good tune, but then stuff that I would really love to play and write and record. So I feel like I need to challenge myself as well. So there's, you know, a fairly large kind of instrumental portion to this song. So kind of maybe makes up maybe a couple of minutes of the song, I think. And one of those portions is in 5/4 instead of your kind of traditional 4/4, which most kind of poppy songs are. So I've got to throw that stuff in just to kind of keep myself engaged and enjoy, you know, a little bit of a challenge. It forces me to come up with something new. I find if I change the time signature, often I'll come up with melodies that I wouldn't have come up with before, because it forces you out of that kind of box that you can get into with the traditional 4/4 stuff.
You've never been loved like this before. You've never been loved like this before. You've never known love like this before.
Well, Tim, I really appreciate you spending some time with us and being on the show. It's a great honor to at least finally talk to you digitally. You know, we've texted back and forth and emailed and things like that. So I really appreciate you being on the show.
This has been really cool. Thanks so much for inviting me here. It's always great to sit and talk about yourself for a while. So yeah, cheers, take care, thanks.
Talk about the way you look at me. I've never been loved like this before.
Map of Autumn. Once again, you can check out all their socials, find out everything there is to know about Map of Autumn in the description down below. Tim, thank you again. My name is Dale Mangold. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Friends of the Forest. Each and every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when a new episode airs. Upcoming episodes, we have Emily Gray, Zip Zap Zop, and Jeremy Kaywood, just to name a few. So I thank you all, and we'll see you next week. Peace and love, everybody.